The Rosicrucian Mysteries by Max Heindel. Introduction. Mount Ecclesia, a description of the headquarters of the Rosicrucian Fellowship. Work in the physical world requires physical means of accomplishment. Therefore, a tract of land was bought in 1911 in the town of Oceanside, 90 miles south of Los Angeles, California. Southern California was selected because of the abundance of ether in the atmosphere there, and this spot was found to be particularly favored in that respect. On this commanding site, having a wide view of the great Pacific Ocean, of snow-capped mountains and smiling valleys, we began to establish our headquarters in the latter part of 1911. At the present writing, January 1921, the final work upon is just being completed. The esoteric work of the fellowship will be carried on here. We have also built a 2-story administration building to house the general office, the book department, the correspondence school in Christian mysticism, which links headquarters with students all over the world, and the editorial offices of our monthly publications, notably the Rosicrucian Fellowship magazine, Raised from the Rose Cross. We have also an astrological department which conducts a correspondence school. These offices are located on the second floor. In October 1920, a training school was established for the preparation of candidates for the lecture field. It is our intention to thereby maintain a lecture bureau, from which we will send our lecturers throughout the country to disseminate the teachings and carry the message of our philosophy to the people to a greater extent than has been before possible. In order to aid those who feel the upward urge to prepare intelligently and reverently for the unfoldment of their inner latent spiritual powers, the Rosicrucian Fellowship maintains 2 correspondence courses which furnish instruction to students all over the world. One deals with astrology, the other with Christian mysticism. The astrology to which we refer is not to be confounded with fortune-telling. It is a phase of the mystic religion, as sublime as the stars with which it deals, and to the mystic they are not dead bodies moving in space in obedience to so-called blind natural law, but they are the embodiments of the 7 spirits before the throne, mighty star angels who use their benevolent influences to guide other less exalted beings, humanity included, upon the path of evolution. There is a side of the moon which we never see, but that hidden half is as potent a factor in creating the ebb and flow as the part of the moon which is visible. Similarly, there is an invisible part of man which exerts a powerful influence in life, and as the tides are measured by the motion of the sun and moon, also the eventualities of existence are measured by the circling stars, which may therefore be called the clock of destiny, and knowledge of their import is an immense power. For to the competent astrologer a horoscope reveals every secret of life. Thus, when you have given an astrologer the data of your birth, you have given him the key to your innermost soul, and there is no secret that he may not ferret out. This knowledge may be used for good or ill, to help or hurt, according to the nature of the man. Only a friend should be trusted with this key to your soul, and it should never be given to anyone base enough to prostitute a spiritual science for material gain. To the medical man, astrology is invaluable in diagnosing diseases and prescribing a remedy, for it reveals the hidden cause of all in a manner that has often perplexed the skeptic and dumbfounded the scoffer. The opinion of thousands is of great value, but it does not prove anything, for thousands may hold an opposite view. Occasionally a single man might be right, and the rest of the world wrong, as when Galileo mentioned that the earth moves. Today the whole world has been converted to the opinion for which he suffered torture, and we assert that, as a man is a composite being, cures are successful only in proportion as the remedy defects upon the physical, moral, and mental planes of being. We also maintain that results may be obtained more easily at certain times when stellar rays are propitious to healing of a particular disease, or by treatment with remedies previously prepared under auspicious conditions. If you are a parent, the horoscope will aid you to detect the evil latent in your child, and teach you how to apply the ounce of prevention. It will show you the good points also, that you may make a better man or woman of the soul entrusted to your care. It will reveal systematic weakness and enable you to guard the health of your child. It will show what talents are there, and how the life may be lived to the maximum of usefulness. Therefore, the message of the marching orbs is so important that you cannot afford to remain ignorant thereof. In order to aid those who are willing to help themselves, we maintain a correspondence class in astrology. But make no mistake, we do not teach fortune-telling. If that is what you are looking for, we have nothing for you. Our lessons are sermons. They embody the highest moral and spiritual principles, together with the loftiest systems of ethics. For astrology is, to us, a phase of religion. We never look at a horoscope without feeling that we are in a holy presence, face to face with an immortal soul, and our attitude is one of prayer for light to guide that soul aright. Another friend traveling in Ireland saw a scene which she recognized, and she also described to the party the scene around the bend of the road, which she had never seen in this life. So it must have been a memory from a previous life. Numerous other instances could be given where such minor flashes of memory reveal to us glimpses from a past life. The verified case, in which a little 3-year-old girl in Santa Barbara described her life and death, has been given in the Rosicrucian Cosmo-conception. It is perhaps the most conclusive evidence, as it hinges on the veracity of a child too young to have learned deception. This theory of life does not rest upon speculation, however. It is one of the first acts of life, demonstrated to the pupil of a mystery school. He is taught to watch a child in the act of dying, also to watch it in the invisible world from day to day, until it comes to a new birth a year or two later. Then he knows with absolute certainty that we return to earth to reap in a future life that we now sow. The reason for taking a child to watch in preference to an adult is, that the child is reborn very quickly, for its short life on earth has borne but few fruits, and these are soon assimilated, while the adult who has lived a long life, has had much experience, remains in the invisible worlds for centuries, so that the pupil could not watch him from death to rebirth. The cause of infant mortality will be explained later. Here we merely desire to emphasize the fact that it is within the range of possibilities of everyone without exception to become able to know first-hand at which here is taught. The average interval between two earth lives is about 1,000 years. It is determined by the movement of the sun, known to astronomers as precession of the equinox, by which the sun moves through one of the signs of the zodiac in about 2,100 years. During that time, the conditions upon earth have changed so much that the spirit will find entirely new experiences here, and therefore it returns. The great leaders of evolution always obtain the maximum benefit for each condition designed by them, and as the experience in the same social conditions are very different in every case of a man from what they are for a woman, the human spirit takes birth twice before the 2,100 years measured by the precession of the equinox, as already explained. It is born once as a man, another time as a woman. Such is the rule. But it is subject to whatever modifications may be necessary to facilitate reaping what the spirit has sown, as required under the law of causation, which works hand in hand with the law of rebirth. Thus at times a spirit may be brought to birth long ere the 1,000 years have expired, in order to fulfill a certain mission, or it may be detained in the invisible worlds after the time when it should have come to birth according to the strict requirements of a blind law. The laws of nature are not that, however. They are great intelligences, who always subordinate their minor considerations to higher ends, and under their beneficent guidance we are constantly progressing from life to life under conditions exactly suited to each individual, until in time we shall attain to a higher evolution and become supermen.